Okay. Well, so this morning they started off again with Sean O'Malley, who was the senior VP of or senior chief of something of the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
And he, the one thing that stuck out to me is that he kept mentioning that when Randy pulled the funds, that there was no account. The account didn't exist. No account didn't exist. And I have this like multiple times throughout my notes. And so for me, I was like, okay, so you're saying that that's basically like that's the reversal code that was showing. And so when I actually accessed these accounts, my reversal code, I believe it was either like R34 or R43. I can't remember specifically what number it was. But it stated, like the statement that Wells Fargo sent me stated limited participation by a state or government supervisor. And
right.
So I wanted to, so I was like curious as to more information on the reversal codes themselves. So I took some notes of that. I also...
Okay, so that was Katie Hosso, who was one of the girls who went to the HATJ trial in Knoxville. And I'm making this video for her and putting her name in the title to see if hopefully she catches this video. But anyways, she asks a very smart question. Why did Randy get R03 errors in his when he tried to access the account he believes exists at the Federal Reserve? R03 is no bank account error, instead of the R34 limited participation error code, which is what most people got when they tried Harvey Dent's Federal Reserve routing number thing. And the answer to that is found in Randy's testimony. Okay, now this is from day 5. This is Randy's testimony. I believe this is Heather asking him about the time when he enters the second account number. The routing number that I started with that day changed sometime during the course of the day. They changed the routing number for the same bank. Now this is a separate point, but routing numbers cannot be changed. So that just shows how little Heather and Randy know. But here we go. Heather asks, how do you know they changed the routing number? Answer, because when I went in to purchase the CDs, the routing number said it was not valid. So, okay, so the routing number, and we continue here. I went in and located the new routing number and then input that routing number because I was on Skype and we were all discussing the routing numbers were being changed very quickly. In fact, I believe I was reading a spreadsheet. And you had told me at one point that you had made a contact call to tell them to stop changing routing numbers. This is back when Heather said that she actually told people that she told the Federal Reserve to stop changing the routing numbers. Of course, she doesn't know anyone at the Federal Reserve, so she can't tell them to stop changing routing numbers, even though they can't change routing numbers. Anyways, okay, so you located a new routing number. Was that from the Federal Reserve Bank's website or... And this is the key point here. No, I actually Googled the bank the bank name that came up whenever I typed in the first routing number. I typed in that bank name in Google and it gave me the new routing number immediately. Okay, so you Google the bank name that kept coming up right. It was like the Clearinghouse of New York or something like that and gave you and listed a new routing number. Correct? I had the address, I had everything, but for some reason, Peachtree Street comes up. Okay, so the answer to why Randy got an R03 error, account does not exist, instead of R34, limited participation, which is what you get when you're using a Federal Reserve routing number, is that Randy was not using a Federal Reserve routing number. He simply looked up the routing number of a random bank. Now, unfortunately, I can't nail down which routing number Randy used because, simply put, there is no Clearinghouse of New York Bank. The closest I could get to finding that is Bank of New York Mellon, which is one option. The other option is that he was using the routing number for SunTrust bank, which would show up under the 1000 Peachtree Street address. And here's the second point. One of Heather's arguments in court was that Harvey Dent must have been a federal agent or some sort of, or being fed inside information by the government, because his scam would require inside information. Now, as you can see here, getting routing numbers of banks is extremely easy. You just type it into Google and you'll get it. So you do not need inside knowledge or specialized knowledge to come up with Harvey Dent's scam. All you need to have come up with a scam is information that is readily available on Google. Less than 5 seconds, it'll come up. So yes, to answer Katie's question, the reason why Randy got the R03 error is that he was not using a Federal Reserve Bank bank account, Federal Reserve Bank routing number. So even if suddenly we find out that the TDA accounts are real, even though they're not, Randy is still staying in jail because he didn't access or he wasn't even using the right routing number to access the TDA accounts.